Hi, how are you doing today? This is Half Spaces. Welcome back to the channel. So today we are going to look at Qatar in the World Cup 2022. They are the host of this World Cup and this is their first ever World Cup. But they miserably failed to qualify to the next stages. They lost all their matches in the group stage. Also, they have created a very bad history that they are the very first host nation to get eliminated in the second round of group stages. So, are they that bad? We need to have a look. So, let's get into business. Qatar is not a bad team as you think. Like they are the champions of AFC in 2019, just 3 years back. In fact, 3 years is a long period in football. But if you have watched AFC, you will know that they are a very good team with a good philosophy and a style of play. They play in a possession oriented play. They sometimes do this intricate passing, one touch passing, some exciting football in fact. But they do not perform like that in a World Cup stage. So, why is that? I have some reasons. So, the first problem is that they cannot match the technical abilities and pace of the other national team players who have been playing their football for a long period of time. Not individual players, but as a nation, they have been playing their game for a long period of time. A short spell against Senegal shows that if they are in the control of game, they can show miracles. Actually, in that short period of time, they troubled Edward Mendy for a long time, and they even scored a goal, their first ever World Cup goal. So when they are in control, they can still show miracles. They cannot do it in a consistent way because they are lacking the experience and the technical ability and pace. Speaking of technical ability, there is another thing that I wanted to focus upon. That is, as a possession oriented system, they like other teams to press them. So when other teams press them, they easily get vulnerable because they are not that technically gifted and they get in a bad position. On the other hand, when they go and press high, the opposition team with their technically gifted players bypass their press and thus they lose their defensive shape and then again getting into bad positions. Another problem I found in the Qatar national team is that they are not very well drilled in a set piece game. So most national teams focus on their set piece games for the big stages. But in the case of Qatar national team, I don't think they have done their homework. They find it very difficult to defend corners. Also, they find it very difficult to score a goal through a set piece too. That is a serious problem because set pieces can be a very useful tool in a football game. My next point is that they don't have a competitive league which leads to the above mentioned problems all the way. So when you have a competent league, what happens is that the clubs will try to nurture the young players. Thus, young players will try to achieve the goals of playing in a bigger club. When the players try to play for bigger clubs, it means that there's a discovery of young talents and a lot of them. When young talents are found in a club, the club improves, but it won't happen for just one club. It will happen for every club if the league is competent. So when club improves, the club will improve their infrastructures. So this will lead to improvement of local domestic players. When domestic players improve, it means that over time they will get exposed to the international football. This means further improvement of the league. So the league again improves, so the domestic players again improve, and thus the national team will nurture. Their quality will improve. All the Qatar national team plays in the same league, which is good in a way, and bad in another way. I will say the good first. Because they all play in the same system, they will have a chemistry altogether eventually. In fact, they already have it, but they are not playing it at the highest level. That's why they fail to show it in the World Cup. The bad thing is that the players are not having international exposure. What is the downfall of this? There is no player who is having international exposure. So what happens? They do not know how to play against higher quality teams. So that's where they fall. For example, look at Morocco. Most of their national team players play in their own league. It is named Botola. But they have internationally experienced players like Yusuf El Naziri, Achraf Hakimi, Mazrui, and Amrabat, etc. So they are pretty well balanced. That's what I think a team should have. There is one more thing that should be noted. Qatar is a very small country. They only have around 30 lakh people in population. According to DW Kickoff, only 11% of them are Qatari citizens. So that means only around 3 lakh people are citizens. This means that they only have a very small pool of players to choose from. We cannot stop talking about Qatar national team without talking about Aspire Sports Academy. Aspire Sports Academy started in 2004 to nurture football in Qatar. In Qatar, all national team players are from the same sports academy, that is Aspire. Since all of them are from the same academy, they almost play like a club, not like a national team. So the last point I have to mention about the Qatar national team is that I told you that Qatar is the AFC Champions of 2019. But after that, they have only managed to play a handful of competitive games. That has seriously affected their form in the World Cups. After AFC Asian Cup in 2019, in which they were the champions, Qatar only had to play in Copa America 2019 as invitees and CONCACAF Gold Cup in 2021 also as invitees. That means they only had to play 8 competitive games. In the CONCACAF Gold Cup, they went on till the semi-finals where they lost to USA, who were the eventual champions. In Copa America 2019, they did not manage to get out of the group stages. Even though they played the World Cup qualifiers, they had automatic qualification for the World Cup. That means the World Cup qualifiers cannot be counted as competitive matches. They only had 8 competitive matches after 2019 AFC Asian Cup. It affects the chemistry between the players. That lack of chemistry clearly reflected in the World Cups. There are people who are saying that the Qatar national team is built through naturalization. But look at France, any European team, there are immigrant players playing in their national team. It is just that the Western world do not want Qatar or any Gulf countries to have footballing culture. Why do you stay against nationalization if it helps the kids to have a better future for their lives and for the football? Also, there is this talk about oil money. I find this very disrespectful because all the current economic superpowers have become superpowers just because they looted their colonies long before for a long period of time. Look at Britain, France, Spain, USA, and whatnot. USA and some other European nations still exploit the African soils. So there is no point in talking about this oil money because we all want oil and they are trading it. They are not looting it from us. I just went a bit political, bear with me. So that's all from me today. Thank you for watching. See you soon.